Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Oh, God.
It has begun. Already the grunting. What? How could you what'd you do today? Was it a busy day? Was it fraught with peril?
I'm just annoyed with myself. I don't want to reveal me for an hour.
Well, there's that. Oh my God! I drove up to Arcata this week to do a set.
Were you there during the earthquake?
Possibly.
Okay.
I didn't feel it.
Okay.
But I just came back. I came back from San Francisco today.
Yeah.
And 5 hours each way, with a very funny, smart comic. He's a great guy.
Wait, you were based in San Francisco, so you drove 5 hours to the gig, and then you
stayed overnight.
Okay.
And then drove back. But that's 2 4 5-hour drives.
That's a lot.
And I haven't since the 90s. I haven't
Driven
road
with a comic that you didn't know.
That I didn't know very well.
That can be very
and he's a good
dicey.
egg. He's a good guy. It's Dash Kwiatkowski.
Oh, cool.
And he's funny. He's a funny comic. And I saw his set so many times, and he saw my set because we worked almost every gig this week in San Francisco because he picked up a bunch of stuff.
Oh, great.
But it would be like doing this podcast for 4 hours in a row, with the stories of the comics and the bookers. Hey, I heard this guy's bit. Have you heard her bit? Oh man, it was slightly maddening to the point where I had to say, "Hey, we have to stop talking for about 45
for
minutes."
For you to say that, it's critical condition. Trust me.
Yeah. How could you believe it? Weirdly enough, he was chattier than I was, and I was on board. I mean, we chatted equally until finally I said, "We got to call it." And then he said, "You got it. Yeah, I'm glad you told me that because you got to tell me."
I love driving in silence.
Me too. I love driving alone.
Read. Yeah, alone. Yeah,
alone is the best.
Yeah, and then with someone who's not talking to you is second best.
Right, someone who you also genuinely like.
Yeah,
who will
just
look
wants
at their
to also
device,
stare out the window,
or
yes.
whatever.
Yeah,
completely. So, I did many gigs. The Jackie and Laurie reference, though, was my favorite one. Was the first one was Dash's gig in Oakland. He has this thing called Critical Hit at a board game store, and Woman in the Third Row. I'm trying to run this hour, right? I'm trying to run this hour,
right.
Album at the end of the month, and I hadn't written. I don't know. I got lost. At one point, I said, I have like 2 more bits. I don't know why I announced that. Nobody needs to know.
well, people are keeping score. They're like, she's on bit 7.
Right. and Woman in the Third Row goes, one of them better be that tantric sex bit.
I know. I feel like I've ruined a couple jokes here.
I know. People are like, when is that coming? And I'm like, well, it's the closer. It's already.
It's coming.
We told
First
you.
of all, everyone lower your expectations. It's
lower the bar.
It's not worth all
that.
I mean, I don't mean your bet. I mean, whatever joke we're talking about constantly here, it's not worth the energy.
Right. It's just the one we're obsessing about. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It genuinely.
This is just a window of how. You'd be shocked at how much space in our brains some tiny, shitty little joke will take for weeks to months.
Right. Just obsess. And obsess and obsess. I literally last night went to bed thinking about a joke and woke up with the damn joke in my head.
Did you?
And then
Did you come up with Did you have a conclusion or an answer you were trying?
No, I don't. I have to work it out on stage.
Yeah.
I've done it twice now, and it's Bamford, of course. Before every show or most shows, she'll say, "What do you want out of this set?"
And you say for it to end quickly.
No,
that's what I say. Okay.
I say, well, I want to have fun. Mm-hmm. I want to. I want to have fun. I want them to have fun, or it'll be like a specific. I want to try that new bit, or I want to do this other thing. And last night, we had just been discussing like some heavy shit, right?
Yeah.
Politics wise, and I said, I want to be of some use. I want this to actually affect something.
Yeah.
And I had told her about this story about my grandmother and the genocide, and she said, "Do that."
Cool.
on stage. The hilarity of the Armenian genocide brought to the Herbst Theater in San Francisco, and
It's
it
a
worked.
new genocide.
It's a brand
I mean,
new genocide.
in terms of people hearing about it, nobody knows about
We
it.
invented
Holocaust
the word
has
genocide.
been beaten to pieces.
We invented that genocide, you guys. We invented the word.
You really did, and
Yep.
and Hitler was inspired by the lack of outrage
Yes.
from other nations
Yes,
to
he
the
was.
Armenian. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. The journey continues. Great opportunity for jackbooted thugs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I went to sleep with, and that's what I woke up with, which is my genocide material and this joke that I don't know what to do with.
Well, you're just on day 2 of it, though, right?
Right. Yeah. But so I mean,
it out.
don't have any expectations.
Don't
people.
call it out.
Don't
at a
call
gig.
it out at a gig. Upcoming.
I didn't do a ton of performing this week. I didn't
No.
have much on the books, and then I was like, I'm just gonna fucking snuggle with my son.
There
man.
you go. Yeah.
And I loved it, and I felt like if I had one more day off, I was never going to get back on stage again.
Oh yeah.
That's why I asked if we could push just an hour so I could do a quick spot on Sunday.
yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not. I could live without this. I really could.
Right.
And then the two
And
times.
who wants to learn that? I don't want to learn that.
I know,
I don't want to
I
learn that I can
know.
do without stand-up
And then I'd be
comedy.
happy without it. Because every morning my son goes, "Do you have a show tonight?" And
Oh, wow.
when I don't, the joy in his "yay" is crushing.
Oh my God, that is heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah.
And then tonight, I made him turn off Pokemon. Like he wasn't able to save his Pokemon because he was whatever. I don't understand it, but I was like, it goes off now.
Yeah.
And so he was really upset. So I
Had to bond.
talked and bonded, and I'm like, I just want to be with him right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, in a real moment. And
Anyway.
neither of you looking at devices. Him, Pokemon.
Yeah.
You, Twitter. That thing you did this week with all the articles about Trump,
Yeah.
turning them into articles about Hillary.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. It was pretty great.
It was slightly satisfying.
Yeah. And
Because parties like the bar is so low for Trump. You're like, oh, Trump. It's like, no, let's put a real
In
politician
perspective.
doing this.
Yeah.
And how do you feel?
yeah.
Or how do you Hillary getting away with this?
Right.
It wouldn't be happening.
Right.
you
What
know?
would that look like? Well, it wouldn't
Yeah.
look like anything because it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So insanity. I, on the other hand, did 100 sets,
You did?
100,000 sets in the Bay
Oh
Area.
yeah, all over the place.
Yeah. So there was Critical Hit on Saturday. On Sunday, we went down to San Jose, Dash
Mm-hmm.
and I, and did the Crow's Nest.
The Crow's Nest. I've done that gig a million times.
It looks
You'll
like
get
a
paid
lodge.
in weeks.
I'm not worried about.
You will get paid. It's a check in the mail.
Okay.
This is how it all used to be. You know,
Well,
it all
except
used to
for
be checks 3 weeks after the gig.
not in the Midwest.
Oh, out in
that's a West Coast thing. That's a Tribble thing.
And a Northwest, yeah, definitely.
That's a Tribble thing. That's a John Fox thing. In the
Yeah.
Midwest, you get paid, and then you sit, and someone has a gun on the table, and they hand you $100. And that's what
I'd rather wait. I could wait.
You don't want to have
How's
a
the
gun
Crow's
pointed-
Nest?
The Crow's Nest was actually good. It was pretty good, actually. They were quiet but supportive.
Yeah.
Monday, Doc's Lab was packed.
Oh, that's such a sweet room.
It was a sweet room, and it was great. There was a bunch of people that
How'd they get people in on a Monday?
I think they were all fans of Maria's who liked me as well.
Oh, cool.
And so I got some of that.
Oh,
and then,
that's great.
That was good. And then the only bad situation, I'm not the hero of this story, is...
Are you ever?
No, rarely.
I think you never are.
It's so there's like this table, and I'm handing out stickers before, right? Just to I don't know,
Our stickers, right?
our stickers,
Yeah.
Dork Forest stickers,
Yeah.
and Jackie and Laurie stickers, and handing them out. And I get to this one table, and it's two women and this guy, and the guy is doing that thing where he wants to be funny.
Oh,
It's exhausting.
such a guy trait.
It really is, and he was
Sorry, Kyle.
it was a very dreamy white blonde, like super perfect features, like very handsome.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, do you guys want stickers?" And he stared at me silently, and just made his eyes super big.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's going on?" "Yes, I'm trying to make it as awkward as possible. Are you all right?" And he goes, you are making it awkward. And then we just stared at each other for a second, and I literally wanted to punch him in the face, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I said, hey, you have something on your shirt, and then I flicked his nose, and then I tapped him on the side of the head, and I said, here's some stickers.
Fucking old school.
Yeah,
That's a physical assault.
Right. Its gramification didn't steal his nose or find a nickel behind his ear, but very close.
You
very
know
close
what?
to be losing
You're
my
within
shit.
your rights to go, I don't want to entertain this person. Get him out.
Two people did. Doc did kick two people out.
What happened?
It was great. I don't know. I didn't hear it. I heard that there was some trouble, and Doc and Jeff was like,
Yeah.
no. And it was perfect. Yeah, I appreciated it.
That's cool. Yeah, you had like good gigs, and then you had some classic one-nighters, man.
Oh, my God.
And tell me
Okay.
about masses.
Okay, Wednesday.
Yes.
That's the pool
I may
hall.
have had one of the worst sets of my life at masses in my hometown.
You know what? This proves
Of Walnut
actually
Creek.
Yes, of Walnut Creek, which, by the way, the only place I'd ever been in Walnut Creek had been masses.
There's so much more.
Well, that's what I said. I said, Lori Kilmartin didn't grow up in a pool hall. She did not grow up. I have to find the rest of this fucking town. So I yelped. I was like, I would like a fine meal. A fine dining experience in Walnut Creek. And so they, of course, sent me to a mall. And but it was a beautiful steak joint full of haircuts. Just full of
What mall?
I don't know, but it was the name
Was
of the
it
restaurant was
outdoor?
called Fleming's.
I've never heard of it.
It's a steakhouse.
There's a lot of new stuff in Walnut Creek.
Yeah, it was a beautiful steakhouse. I treated myself right.
not the
Everyone
same
should know that.
Hey, good. Isn't it nice to have a steak dinner by yourself?
Yeah,
it's
it was
fucking
lovely.
awesome.
It was great. It was great.
I want to do that like once a month or something.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do it once a month because I'm on the road that much and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So, but so I did that, and then I went over to masses, and the show. I thought the show was at 8. It was at 9. Some people showed up at 8, and then it didn't start till 10. Fuck. And so at 9:30, I went over to the 6 that had come to see me, and I said, "If you guys got to go, you got to go. I totally don't want you to. It's a hostage situation, right?" And
Yeah, because you're not even going right up. There's people going up in
there's
front
three
of you.
people in front of me, and so, two of them were like, "Yeah, we have to work tomorrow."
Oh my god.
So
yeah, why on a Wednesday night? Why is it being pushed that
well,
much?
there was a basketball game because it's a pool hall
Yeah,
and a
right,
sports
right.
bar, and they
Can't they just? I can't believe I'm suggesting this. Leave the game on, but turn the sound down.
They did. They turned. Well, they turned off like that corner of the room. They turned off all the TVs. 2 of the TVs at the bar were still on but muted. And then get this: you go down 3 steps. There's pool, right?
Yeah.
And music playing. So like, there's not even a wall. And
Right.
So whatever. So, it's
So you're
it's
just-
it's
there's
now
so much
30
to
minutes
fight.
late. It's 40 minutes late. And we're all just sitting around waiting for this game to end. And Greg is like, I can't. We have to wait. They were going to said I could do it at the third inning or whatever the fuck basketball
inning?
has.
Isn't it a quarter?
It's a basketball thing. I don't
The
know.
third lane.
Yeah, the third lane. Once the bowling is done.
I went swimming, but you went bowling.
So I go to the bathroom.
Third heat. Yeah.
I go to the third race. I go to the bathroom. I come back and I walk up to Greg and I was like, "Hey, I will give you $100 if I don't have to go up."
Can I leave? Can I go home?
Yeah. And he looked like I had punched him in the face. And he goes, "Obviously, you're not giving me any money, but if you need to bail, I get that." And I was like, "No, seriously." And I pulled like a wad of 20s out of my pocket. And he's like, "Put it away. Put it away." And-
Floating in merch money.
Exactly. I had merch money, sweet, sweet merch money. And then he said, "We're going to start any minute." And I said, "The minute better be in the next minute."
Yeah.
And then he did. He started it in the next minute. And then I went back to I did another lap around the pool hall, went and got a water because they have a water dispenser. Guy walked by me, bumped my arm, threw my water into my own face.
Oh my god.
He bumped it. So
my
I was
God.
like, this is the worst.
He was probably
ever.
from Concord.
He was.
That's a joke that only 4 people
Regional.
will get.
Regional.
Yeah.
Nice.
Regional, and we're not even in that region.
We're not in that region.
That's how. that's how inaccessible that joke is.
That is so meta. And I will say this is that then I went on stage like after everybody, because Dash did a set and Phil Johnson did a set and Ash
not Carter. That's
Fisher?
Yes.
Ash Fisher. She went up and they all
She's
had,
super funny.
there were so many funny at the at Critical Hit. It was Allison Mick
Yeah.
and Jane Harrison.
Yeah.
And Jane Harrison had this amazing. My favorite joke of hers was this thing about women that sound dumb.
Yeah.
And how you don't know. And she's like, you think. And she's like, I thought. And then it goes into this place about how they're not dumb, but
that's great.
But it sounds weird. Yeah, so
Cool.
it's really
Yeah,
great.
a lot of funny women in San Francisco.
Right. Kate Willett opened for me at Doc's.
Yeah,
with
she's,
Dash.
she's great.
She freaking destroyed.
Wow.
Destroyed. And it was awesome. And
That's
Dash
cool.
had a great set too. I mean, everybody, it was fun.
It's a great place to start comedy, San Francisco.
Yes, if you can afford to be stacked like cordwood somewhere. But okay,
I know.
so I went up and it was a good set at Masses. So, which
Okay.
isn't pronounced Masses, but I think we should continue to call it Masses, and
You
he
know
should
what?
stop doing comedy there. But sorry, Greg.
Don't kill a gig. Some people only have masses right now.
Who is that? Who are those people?
Beginners.
Okay,
They're like they've got masses on their calendar for
their bucket
May
list?
of 2017 already, and they're looking forward to that gig. Don't kill it.
all right, I take it back. Then Thursday we drove up to Arcata, Eureka, 4 hours up, 4 hours back.
Beautiful.
Not that many people, but a very nice town full
Yeah.
of people that are clearly stoned. And
Did you see a lot of old Victorians there? Did you notice that at all?
I did not. Oh,
Okay.
the architecture?
yeah, the
Not
houses.
people.
A lot of royals from the late 1800s.
Did you see some corsets? Were some people wearing some bustles? No, I didn't see a lot. Supposedly the hotel was haunted, but I never think anything's haunted. So
Yeah.
I assume that it's just the pipes. Not 3 times. Really? I'm 100, you guys. Remember that song? Anyone? Okay.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
that the Carpenters?
No. I don't know what it is. Here's my pet peeve. This is the other thing I came up with.
Dude, are you just running through your list of things? What's your list here?
It's a list of comics that I saw that I thought you might know.
Yes.
And then who we also
I see this note to yourself. No pauses whatsoever. That's great.
don't let
You're really
Lori
sticking
talk.
to
Don't
it.
let Lori talk. What do you got? You got anything?
I made a list.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. 2016 best specials of the year.
Yes.
Vulture.
Well
Well played.
10.
Well played.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was
Congratulations.
turns out I'm a fan of lists now.
Yeah.
My mind can be changed pretty much on anything. I have no fixed core.
As long as you get the attention. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's a good list too. That Vulture list is fun.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some like reviews and stuff from it. you know?
I'm sure. Split Sider and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I interviewed with somebody at Splitsider.
You see the Comedy Bureau plug the pod?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that felt really nice.
I love the Comedy Bureau.
Yeah.
I used it. I used it a lot when I was workshopping jokes. You know.
Yeah, where to go up. It's got the best
Yes.
lists for where to go up in LA.
Do you know? I had to submit how much my special cost me, so in the hopes that I'll get reimbursed. You know.
Ah, right.
Because there's, I did my thing and I handed it over to the management company, CH Cringe Management, and they added their stuff,
Right.
And they had a lot. They incurred a lot of expenses. They had people coming at it. They had a team flying at it, interviewing a lot of people,
Right.
You know.
Right, because there's all that the bookend stuff.
Yeah.
So they did all that.
So they interviewed Conan and Patton and Andy Kindler, and then
Right.
they had a team at my house doing me, my mom, my sister, and
Yep.
my friend Cheryl, and that cost a lot of money. And then they had to condense those hours of interviews into
right 20
18 minutes,
yeah.
maybe on either end, and that's a lot. Editing is a fucking disaster. Editing
so-
takes so long.
Yes, Grandma Kilmartin. Yes, it does. You have to go through every fucking frame.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so they have a lot of costs too,
Right. So you put your costs
So-
and then their costs?
and their costs, and
And
so
do they get precedent?
I don't.
Like when the money comes back?
I don't know. We haven't talked about that.
Okay.
I don't care.
No, you just want it out.
I
You
want
want
it
out
out.
there. Yeah.
I'm almost done. Like, oh, it's on Vulture. All right, bye.
Yeah. I guess everybody liked it. That guy
Yeah.
liked it. Done.
Finally, I'm done. So, but I think whatever CISO's paying might cover all of our expenses.
Oh, great.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But my total for what I paid for the special was $26,000 and $400.
Out of pocket.
$26,400 out.
Okay.
And then I had a couple other, like I'm paying a publicist for 2 months, and that's a separate thing. But I just submitted that, and I was like, if I could get that money back, that would be really awesome.
Yeah, Horcrux cost $18.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
how many shows did you tape?
I taped 3.
3. Yeah, I mean, it's when you tape. I did 4. Yeah. And then they have to take in all of that video, and you're going to go and frame by, joke by joke, and pick which version you want.
Well, I did. Here's what and this is, I'm doing my album with Stand Up Records and Dan, and so the way I did the special, which may be why nobody bought it, was because like Netflix or whatever, because I didn't do that. What I do with the album or with any of it is I get raw footage of each set, right, and I hear how it. And then I pick a base set, a set that most of it was great.
Yeah, right.
And then I listen to the other 2 sets or 4 sets, however many I do, and then if some joke sounds better in a different, in a different set, I'll pop it in.
Yeah,
I'll swap it out.
But that's what I did too. But that's very time consuming.
It is time consuming.
Yeah,
you listen to your own act.
You have to listen to your own act
5 times.
Yeah, and then you have to like grade.
Yes.
All right, this joke, or I told this. It's not even whether it got the biggest laugh or not. It's like, did I tell it the way
correctly.
I think is the best way I can tell it? Did I hit it exactly right?
Right. Did it sound like how the joke should sound?
Yes, because the audience at home, that's who it's for now, and they're going to respond. They're not listening to this to the audience in the special.
Yeah.
They're responding on their own, so it doesn't need to have like this crazy laugh. Yeah,
that's great.
But it's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money. The only note I had for the guy who did the editing.
Yeah.
Once I did that.
Was it Ryan?
It was Ryan.
That you saved my life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, because I didn't know you very well back then.
Right.
We
are 52 hours into a friendship. And previously.
But I had given my special to somebody, who's again, there's some problematic relationships here, recommendations and
right.
stuff. Somebody who's never done stand up before, and I think hated me because I couldn't believe the fucking shots he picked. What the hell?
The only thing I told Ryan with Horcrux, don't show my ass. I accidentally saw my ass in one of the shots, and I was like, oh, is that what that looks? I don't want that out there. No one needs to see that.
So then so I was in despair. And then I remember you were bummed. This guy $2,000
to do it,
and it was unusable.
And you were like, "It's ruined. It doesn't even work."
Yes,
you said. I remember that.
Yeah, and then you recommended Ryan, and then Ryan Brennan at his Black Iris Media is so
Black
great.
Iris Media, and Ryan is great, and he had done Chad Daniels' special.
He knows what he's fucking doing. You got to get a stand-up person to edit stand-up. It's not like anything else.
Yes, and he had done at least 3 or 4 earlier ones, and so he knew what he was looking at.
Yeah. So he saved it. So you did. So thank you.
Well, yeah, of course. Allow me to take credit for Ryan's work. I like that. Ryan's a great guy. I was nervous about Ryan myself. Because Lewis Lee suggested it from Acme because he had used him before.
Yeah.
And Chad had used him before. And so I was like, I don't know. I was thinking about hiring somebody I don't know at all. But
then I have this thing that Ryan cuts, and then I showed it to Cringe, and they're like, "Oh, let's do this to it." Like,
okay,
like that he got the ball halfway down the field.
Okay,
let's do another sports analogy, and then the 5th inning they.
And then, excellent. When the volleyball team rotated, yes.
And then CISO did the final dive off the platform. Yeah. So.
Finally swimming.
It's diving, different sport. Don't be naive.
Oh, don't. I love the naivete.
Competitive swimmers don't dive off a platform. Oh my God.
I've never thought about that ever. So you are correct. It is a different skill. Yes. It's an entirely different skill. That makes so much sense.
We dive off blocks, starting blocks. So that happened, and then I'm doing a couple. This week was just like my computer broke, and then the
your laptop. or desktop?
My desktop.
Boo.
And then that's the one I'm writing the book on. Like, I need another fucking excuse to procrastinate.
No,
okay. When everything's
yeah.
running perfectly, I'm like, I gotta clean. Like, I've never cleaned in my life, right?
Right.
But now the computer's out and I can't, I'm like, well, I can't write on my laptop.
Like some sort of animal.
I can't do that. It's gotta be desktop is for book. That's the way I have it in my head.
Even though is it in the cloud? Do you have all the files backed up? Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the hot water heater wasn't working,
Okay.
and so we didn't have hot water for a couple days, and all these things. I'm such a little pussy because just little things go wrong, and I'm like, I can't do anything, and I'm paralyzed. You know?
Yeah. You can't get paralyzed.
Oh, I get paralyzed all the time.
Yeah.
Don't paralyze shame me.
I won't paralyze shame you. Heaven forfend.
But like I the show I was at tonight beforehand.
Yeah. Virgil,
there
right?
was
You went to Virgil?
there was a lot of comics who had already seen.
All of your sets.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, I have one new tag.
Right. And you're like,
I have nothing.
so they're staring politely. I had what?
I have nothing new.
I picked up a set before a basement that reminded me of the horror that just happened in Oakland, right? Because I go to this.
At the ghost ship.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think it was Friday. So Friday we drive back from Arcata, and I pick up a set at Irene 2's. It's like sort of a patio behind some bar, somewhere. Who cares?
Right. Who cares?
And
it's a gig. Show up.
It's a gig. I can show up, and
so it's on the drive home from Arcata.
no, it was in San Francisco.
Oh,
I checked
okay.
into my new hotel, and then I went to do essentially an 8:00 set, and then I had a 9:00 set.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, it was great. And then the 8:00 set was the Irene 2 set, and the 9:00 set was Matt Gubson. Is that right?
I don't know.
And it's in debasement, and it's an actual basement. Okay. It's a basement of a building it's on Albion, parallel to Mission,
Yeah.
and like 17th, whatever. So the first set was so bad. It wasn't, they were essentially super tight.
Yeah.
They just stared, and I got so mad at them. I mean, it's obviously my fault, right? Because I'm the one talking out of my face.
Yeah.
And so I just essentially ran 20 minutes of material. And you ever do this? You run 20 minutes of material, they still don't like it, you regret running your 20 favorite. Because you're like, well, now you've fucking ruined that for 12 seconds. And I could have ran the 20 I need to work on.
What can I just say the audience in San Francisco has changed dramatically, as has San Francisco.
Well, and I was told by a couple of the comics that they were half those techie haircut dudes and half seriously angry young lesbians. And so it was like this weird...
both normally your target audience.
Entirely what I'm going for. Actually, if it's all one of them...
Yeah, I know.
Usually...
I mean, technically you should be doing well with both, right?
Right. It's there should be no problem.
Yeah.
But, and I surprised a couple of laughs out of them. That's not what I'm looking for at all in stand-up comedy. But then get this. I go to the debasement, which is a basement, on Albion, and there's two people in the audience, and then there's four of us comics.
Yeah.
And we started anyway.
Yeah. Good.
And by the time I'm up, there's a dozen people there, and I have the time of my life.
That's great.
It was a great set. Super fun.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Maria's crowds, of course, amazing. Like the Saturday night show at the Herbst.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
It's first show sold out, second show mostly full.
Oh, my God.
half full, or I don't know
How
who
many
knows what it
people
was.
does it see?
900?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so second show, I was like, any comics who wanted to show up, I was like, I went to the box office and I said, if somebody comes in, says my name, and that they're a comic, just let them in. And because I had been telling comics all week, I was like, if you want to come, there's room in the second show. And Maria was like, yeah, let's do it. And for some reason, Maria had like props from her Netflix special.
Yeah.
That she made all this sort of fake merch.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're gonna give it away after the second show. And so she had stress balls that looked like pancakes that said meds are better. And she had pencils that said hope on them. And she had whoopee cushions that said make your own music. And so I gave away. And then she decided to empty her garage of old CDs of hers.
Oh,
she's
man,
like
that's
people
my
could
fantasy. That would be a reason to get a show on Netflix, is just to get rid of your old CDs.
right.
In the garage.
And so I get super obsessed when there's merch.
Mm-hmm.
I get in salesperson mode. Even if we're giving it away, I want to make sure, especially if we're giving it away, I want to make sure everybody gets something.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's signing and taking photographs from the front, and so I work from the back, and I just make sure everybody gets everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And I gave
That's
away
great.
I gave away a boatload of stuff. It was actually fun. I felt
That's
of some
awesome.
use.
That's amazing. Fucking a 900-seater. That's crazy. That's double the size of Cobb's.
Yeah, and
Wow.
right, and it's and Cobb's is so hard to fill. Cobb's is
Cobb's
so weird.
is impossible to fill.
Right. I
But
mean,
she could have filled Cobb's easily.
she did Cobb's 2 years ago. I opened for her there.
Did she fill it?
Yeah. It was 2 shows and totally full.
Wow.
So this one was just 1 show, or 2 shows rather.
yeah.
And it filled the first one, and the second one was mostly full. So
God damn.
yeah, all we need is a sitcom for someone to give a shit.
That's amazing.
Did you hear that Karen Rotowski and Kira Sultanovich are starting a podcast?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I know. I'm psyched. I'm like, do it. Do it. Middle-aged ladies for the win.
Yeah. Well, Kira just choked because she's not middle-aged.
Oh, I will age you fucking now. I will bring you into my
If
world.
comedy doesn't age you, Jackie will. That's your promise.
Yes, I'm here for you. If I could just sort of, oh my God, too funny.
Let's see.
What else?
I don't know.
Have you ever been, when did you perform? This is one of the conversations I had with Dash in the car, was performing sick. Like he was talking about like being sick, like, and then performing anyway. And and the last time I did it where I was so sick that the
Yeah.
poor audience sat through it,
Yeah.
I'm replaceable, is what I decided after that. Nobody needs to watch me cough.
Right.
And then
cough.
cry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had the flu. It was the worst.
It's yeah. If you can't cover it, there's one thing where you feel horrible, but
Yes.
they can't tell.
Yes.
But if they're worried about you,
Right, if you're physically ill.
they're not going to enjoy it.
Like you have a coughing jag and I was crying because you know
Yeah.
when you cough sometimes on the silent tears.
yes.
How is that fun? How
No.
is that fun for anybody either side? I know I was afraid of getting prorated, but you know that.
I know. I know. This isn't sick, but I did, or me performing sick, but I did worry I was going to get ill because I was holding a mic recently, and the comic before me, female comic, a lot of lipstick, and it's all over the mic.
Oh
Like,
wow,
she eats
gag
the mic.
Yeah, so gag reflex.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like,
you were just
whoa,
like,
there's
that's
just
gross.
a lipstick covered mic.
Ladies, men,
Anyone,
everybody.
get your fucking mouths off the mic.
Right, we're all
Please.
using the mic.
We're all using the
we're all
mic.
using the
Stop.
mic.
Get your lips off the fucking
I
mic.
don't want to have to Purell the mic before I go
Don't do
up.
your oral sex joke on a mic I'm fucking using next.
It's true. Do you want to do comic of the week? Are we at 30, Kyle? What do you think?
We're only at 30.
Yeah. 32.
32.
What?
Comic of the week.
Aaron Foley.
Aaron K. Foley, comic.
Yeah.
I think it's Aaron Foley Comic on Twitter. It's awesome.
Yeah. She's great. I've
She's
known her.
genuinely one of my
Knew
favorite
her back
comics.
in New York.
Did you know her in New York?
Yeah.
All right.
Very funny, hardworking. I think I knew her when she was just starting, you know?
Yeah.
And she's great. She
Yeah.
fucking kills. She's like a storyteller, but she with a lot of jokes, you know?
So many jokes.
Yeah.
And
Her Conans have been great.
yeah, she has at least 3 Conans,
Yeah.
to my
I think,
knowledge.
Yeah. I think 2 at least.
2, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
2
just-
or maybe
maybe at least 2.
Whatever.
I know 2
but
for
it's
sure.
like a murderer's row of Conans.
Oh
right
man,
there.
she just knocks it out of the park and is really great. So find her. Mm-hmm. So smart, so funny. And it's so silly. That's one of my favorite things about her stand up is that it's smart.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but there's this silly edge to it that I can't do.
Yeah.
And you watch someone else do that kind of comedy and you're like, oh my God, that's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Jen Kirkman had the holiday thing at the
Oh,
Improv.
yeah.
It was fun. I mean,
Okay.
it was because I envy people that aren't super attached to doing a set all the time. You know?
Okay, who can just put on
Yeah,
a show?
because it was like more of a storytelling, and I think everybody else had separate things. But I'm like, bringing out my notebook. This is a all I can do. I'm
This is my
sorry.
set
I'm a savant.
that I'm working on.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. Maybe it. I feel brittle. Maybe I'm just a brittle performer.
Because what was it? You talked about it, and then somebody else talked about it, but I never knew. I thought it was just a stand-up show. Was it not?
Yeah, but it was or
Was it in the main room?
A little story. Yeah, storytelling based on a dysfunctional family, having a dysfunctional family.
Okay, it was.
But Jen was like, well, you could just do your material because
Right, 'cause that's what's happening.
That's all there. But other people had prepared different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily punch, punch, punch.
Yep.
But I can't get up there and deliberately do that. I'm like, it's a full crowd. I gotta go. I gotta tell.
You gotta
jokes.
bring it. Yeah.
That's why I can't imagine. I don't like fucking around like that looseness where I'm committing to something that may not have any laughs in front of very few people, but definitely not on a Saturday night. I can't do it.
Yeah. So last night, first show,
Mm-hmm.
Maria goes, so do that genocide thing to 900 people.
Oh, my
And I've never
God.
done it.
No.
And so
what did you do?
Well, it was the thing that you just said that and I was like, why would I? And I opened with it.
you got to get it out of the way quickly.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you
I
can't
thought,
have that
Let's do it. And
hanging over your head.
exactly. How am I going to get back into it? The genocide thing. So, and then I opened with a second show. And like a joke from the first time you do it to the
Yeah.
second time you do it. We've talked about it before. And I was like, second show, I was like, oh, it didn't work second time. That's not true. It totally worked.
Yeah.
It was, and I taped both of them, which is good. Audio taped.
Yeah.
Both of them. And,
Now, sure, it's good. Are you going to listen to it, or is it going to sit on your iPhone and torture you for 2
I
years?
listened to the first show before the second show.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, 'cause
that
I was-
is fucking amazing. 'Cause
Right,
now you're listening. Now you're doing your set. You're listening to your set, and then you're doing it again.
Yeah, because I wanted to, because it
that
works
makes
so
my
well.
skin crawl.
No, but it works so well the
It
first
does
show.
work well, but it's it's so diligent. I almost can't handle it.
That sort of work ethic. What is going to happen, Cation? But I was like, well, I kind of nailed it, and so I was taking notes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and so and it worked. It worked the second time, but it's like this very, it's less. At the end of it, it doesn't really. It has more of a call to arms than a punchline, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And it's fine. I mean, that's fine for the first couple times for the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm warm up, right?
Yeah.
And everybody was actually, I think they were like, "Good," And then I told jokes after that, and it was fine.
That's cool.
But it
So
was
how
funny.
much time did you do?
I did 25.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I the first 5 to 7 was this thing, and then the second show I didn't feel like it went well. So my segue into the rest of my act was, and now let's talk about airline food, right, or whatever, some
Yeah.
fucking thing. So just to kind of, because it's not really straight stand up,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like.
Does she have a whole new hour from when she was at Cobb's 2 years ago? I'm just saying
Yeah.
for a Stanford. Fuck.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, and now she just did this hour.
Yeah.
And she recorded it on Netflix. It's sort of like January 1st. Am I going to not do any of the stuff? I'm so looking forward to after this taping. I'm going to cherry pick all of my favorite jokes from
Yeah.
the last 20 years.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the new stuff that doesn't, that needs work. And so, and not worry about any of it. I'm just going to entertain the audience for 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And then get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
And but she's like, there's part of me that just wants to start over. And I said, do you have any premises besides the
Yeah.
she's got like 3 new jokes that are great.
Yeah.
But that's that's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not another hour. And she's like, no, I'll be still doing this for a second. And she was like, but of course, like all of us, you just want to. You've been doing those jokes for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't want to do them anymore. I want to do something else. There are some jokes that I love that I will always love that are, I don't know, 15 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't
Is that it? They're only 15.
Or 30?
I have some that I think are at least 15 years old.
What was your
It's
first
like
favorite
4
joke?
boyfriends ago.
4
4 boyfriends ago. And I take my time between boyfriends.
Well, that's good. That's building character. What was your favorite? Did you have what was your first signature bit? Like the first bit that really sort of felt like you were a comic.
All right. It was either, I did this. I was so ashamed because I did it on Last Comic Standing, and it was such an old joke, but it's.
But no one had heard it.
So my name is
so it works.
Laurie Kilmartin. Kilmartin is Irish name. It means Church of St. Martin. Also means if I ever marry Charlie Sheen, my name will be Laurie Kilmartin Sheen.
You have told us that joke before.
Yes.
That is, but that was, and that.
Well, I am ashamed. Did I use my shamed voice by telling it? I'm not bragging about it.
No.
Okay.
No,
you asked.
I did ask, but what I want is I wanted something else, clearly. Clearly, I wanted something else, and I didn't get it, and I apologize.
Okay. I have something else.
Okay.
It's a really short. How did I get into it? It's something about food. I had a banana today. Not the whole thing, not that little bottom part. You know that little brown spot at the bottom?
Yeah.
The banana's anus. Oh. The bananas.
See? I don't mind. That's a silly, that's the kind of
joke. You know what
joke
happened?
What happened?
Okay. So I used to do that joke all the time in the middle of a food chunk.
Right.
When I was still working out my eating disorders on stage.
Awesome.
I think I'm done with them.
Oh,
that's nice to be done.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Look what you healed with stand-up comedy. Your eating disorder.
But so I was working at Roosters and
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes, in
Sunnyvale.
And Attell was at the Punchline, and so I did that joke on the radio. You know, like I called in the morning radio, and then I did it at night at Roosters, and someone goes, "Oh, Attell did that joke," and I'm like, really?
What?
I think what happened is I called in and did a radio, and maybe Attell did the same radio later in the week. And but then that made me paranoid, like, what if, because David Attell has actually complimented me on that joke before, and I'm like, what if he accidentally, and I don't want people to think I stole from him. Right. And it's an old joke anyway, so goodbye. And then I just stopped doing it.
Right. Yeah, the panic that you get sometimes when there's a parallel thought.
Yeah.
Or even suspected parallel
thought, or or
even topics where you're like, oh, I guess I won't be discussing that.
Even I did that joke on on television, so it's like been time stamped,
right?
You know,
right?
But I was like, I don't want anyone thinking I'm a thief, so I'll just dump it.
Right.
You know?
Just keep writing, I guess. That's
just
what we're
keep writing. Yeah.
Just keep writing. Just keep writing. That's a.
Oh my God.
There you go.
What? How much?
Where are we at?
41.
41. Sweet 41.
We haven't seen each other in a long time. How come we have nothing to talk about?
I don't know. I'm looking at my list.
How come I'm not happier? I made fucking a vulture list, and I'm angry at myself.
Yeah. Don't be angry. It's the El Rio. That's where I ran my set. And this week I'm doing you know how Meltdown ended the Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm doing whatever is in its place.
What is it?
I don't know. It's just a stand-up
Rabbit
show.
Hole.
It's called Rabbit. Oh, Kyle knows. Rabbit Hole. That's what it's called.
Oh, is Caitlin running it?
She's booking it and
Yeah.
producing it, and then Rory and...
Oh, yeah.
Larson?
Yeah, and Larson.
Jay Larson? Yeah.
Yes, are hosting it.
Cool.
Or they're going to try to host it, but they have fantastic careers, right? Don't they have fantastic
they're
careers?
around every Wednesday.
Maybe. It's, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, is it just a straight stand-up show again? Oh, well, then that'll be exciting for me because I do stand-up
Yay.
comedy. And I don't have, I want him to stretch. Like I did the storytelling thing and I did this other, there was like some panel, I'm supposed to do some panel thing coming up and I'm like, well, what is it? What's it going to be like? And am I just going to farm the jokes into the panel situation? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's what people do now, right? They sit next to Conan.
I'm not fucking Peter Allen right here where I can sing and dance and act. I can just do stand up. That's the oldest reference.
I don't even know who that is. I'm not Peter Rabbit.
He was a Broadway performer. He was married to Liza Minnelli.
Okay.
And it was a total, he was gay. I think he
Okay.
died.
Was she his beard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
But Liza seems like she just provides that service for gay men.
like, do you need respectability? Marry me.
Well, not respectability, or just like, I mean, maybe back when they were married in the 80s, you couldn't be out. I don't know.
Okay.
Remember she was married to David Guest?
no, but okay. I don't know who that is either. I've been
producer or something.
Okay.
But it was just anyway.
But was he a triple threat? Could he dance and sing?
Peter Allen, a motherfucker was talented. He could do it all.
He could do it all.
Yeah, I'm saying I can
You are
barely
no
do
Peter
one
Allen.
thing.
That's what you're saying. You say you have the one task.
Yes. I think I'm doing a show this week where have to get drunk on stage and then tell jokes or something.
Right, because it's just not hard enough. Stand-up comedy isn't difficult enough as it is.
But I am being Ubered to the gig and back.
Good. Why is that something to be patted on the back about? Hey, they've hired me to do this thing, but they say don't drive drunk. And
yeah. So
that's good. Well, that'll be fun.
I think it'll be fun.
I would love to get drunk and do stand-up comedy. So,
isn't that how you did your first 10 years?
It is not. It is. I never
minus the Uber. You drove yourself.
I never got drunk before the shows.
Did you do shots? What about when people buy you shots on stage?
One-nighters, I would occasionally do shots, but I would stop
Yeah.
because I wanted to do weirdly enough, I wanted to do stand-up more than I wanted to drink.
Yeah.
And so, but as soon as I was off stage, it was a race against time. It was a race against how quickly could I black out, and
Wow.
and then get behind the wheel and quickly drive wherever I needed to go. So
Damn.
my favorite gigs were those four-walling gigs in like a Best
Oh
Western.
yeah. You just
Where
go
you
upstairs
you
to your
just
room.
stumble upstairs and you bring some, compost salesman out there with you. Good times. Good times.
Wait, you mentioned an orgy, and then somebody on Twitter was like, "Wait, how come we didn't get details?"
Why would? But they're always boring. Have you ever been at an orgy?
No, I haven't. So they're really not boring to me.
I have been in two, and are they orgies or were they threesomes or were they just noodly ladies?
I don't know.
It's a pile of nude drunk people sort of pawing at each other, and someone usually gets ignored, and usually everyone gets ignored at some point.
Right.
Right? So as far as I was concerned, like I did the first one by accident and I weeded off.
So is a threesome not an orgy?
The threesome was the second time that I cared more.
Okay.
And that was boring too in the end. And I said in the end. Anyway, there was no anal sex, you guys. Here's something. As long as we're giving too much information about Jackie's sex life, tab A, slot A. That's the whole project. And I did two dope
you're
queens.
useless in a threesome then if you only
If I only receive
Yeah.
and just the one orifice?
yeah.
Well, I'm available. I was available orally.
Oh, okay.
What the heck?
I didn't know what
A mouth is a mouth is a mouth. Who said that? Emma Goldman? Who was that?
Virginia Woolf
Virginia Woolf.
into the lighthouse. Yeah.
We're smart.
You know what's a good? Do you watch The Fall on Netflix?
Nope. What is it?
It's Gillian Anderson who was
wow.
in X-Files.
Yeah.
The season 3. I just watched season 3.
Okay.
And she's a investigator following a serial killer. And
Okay.
there is some serial killing in it, but it's all psychological shit. And
Right.
they
It's
have
just sort of a procedural kind of thing.
yeah,
that she's
yeah.
following?
And it goes 3 seasons, the whole thing, where from discovery of this guy to tracking him to they have him in custody and
Okay.
how it ends and stuff.
And so there's 3 seasons,
But
and it's done.
psychological shit. It's a woman in the workplace. It's a female boss to female
wow.
policemen who look up to her. And it's a lot of and talking about how women respond to fear,
Well, that's cool.
it's really cool because there's one of the women he attacked survived, and I guess he breaks in the house. Her
Yeah.
husband has headphones on.
Right.
So he says, "I'll kill your son and your husband unless you come out with me." So she just walks out with him.
Yeah.
And the husband afterwards is like, "Why didn't you fight?" Or it's and Jillian, her character's like, women try to placate. That's how women try to fix the situation.
Yeah.
They don't fucking. Why am I going to punch somebody when I know it's not going to do much damage?
Right, I'm not
going to try to
stronger
do
than he is.
psychological stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's great. I really loved it.
Yeah, the casting and writing on that sounds super unique.
Yes.
Just because of all the women.
And it
things.
takes place in Belfast, so there's the Troubles are referenced. I'm reading the coolest memoir. Oh my god! Okay,
Is it about the Irish?
yes,
Thank you.
it's this guy. His name's Tim Brannigan, and this is all in the memoir, so I'm not.
Okay.
But it's this very incredible story. So his mother is Irish, white Irish. She's married, and she has an affair with a black doctor, an African doctor, who's in Belfast.
Okay.
And this is during the mid 60s.
Okay.
So she gets pregnant with this kid, and she knows it's not her husband's because they haven't had a good relationship in a while.
Right.
Right. So she's in Ireland, pregnant with a black baby,
Right.
and it's in a very Catholic. I mean, it's just so
Right.
million things are working against her.
Right. She can't get
Right now.
divorced.
Can't get divorced,
Yeah.
and would never abort. Okay?
Right.
So she tells her husband she was raped. Okay. Then, and they don't do anything about it.
Right.
It's like no
classic.
one's arrested. It's
Right.
just like,
Oh, so
yeah.
shit happened.
yeah, okay.
Keep going.
So then she goes to the hospital and she has the baby, and she conspires with a couple people at the hospital to tell everyone it was a stillborn, and the baby died.
Oof.
So the baby is taken to an orphanage,
Yeah.
and she gets a job at the orphanage, and she visits her own son every weekend for a year.
Right.
And then she gets someone in her family to say, hey, you're feeling bad because of the stillborn. You really like this kid. Why don't you adopt him? She doesn't even bring it up herself. She gets someone else
Right.
so she can say, well,
She's enormously manipulative.
yes. And then she adopts her own baby and brings him home.
To raise the kid.
Yes. And she
And her
doesn't tell
husband
him.
doesn't know.
No.
How about the affair guy, the dad?
No, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's like a student. He's a doctor, and he's
fly by
there.
night.
And yeah,
All right.
so I'm only to that part where, but this
And this is
kid-
all true.
true. It's been optioned for a movie.
Of course. It's fascinating.
So now he's black and he's Irish, and he's being raised in a Republican household in
Okay.
terms of like they're nationalists. They
Want a separate island, right?
They want to rejoin Ireland, right?
Okay,
They
yeah.
want the British out.
That's right.
It's an IRA safe house. So he's grown up besides all this other shit going on,
Yeah.
the IRA's always coming in. They're hiding their guns there. They have meetings there.
He's 4.
He's like, when he was like 6 or 7, his naps, the Brits were coming. They're doing like they would just break into the house constantly at 4 a.m. and search for guns.
Wow.
That's just
Yeah.
So one day some troops are, they're making their way down the block. And so some IRA guys are in their house, and they put explosives in the kid's knapsack. Right?
Oh, right, 'cause
Because they're like, well, they won't search a
check it.
backpack. And so they didn't. And then they just told this kid to go, all right, just walk down to the Finn's house and tell them blah, 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 and they'll know what to do. And so he's like my son's age or younger,
Yeah.
walking with explosives in a backpack to
Right.
David's neighbor's house. Well, it's an incredible
What's it called?
story. It's called Where Are You Really From? And the guy's name is Tim Brannigan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Crazyville.
Yeah, and so I am not even to this part of the memoir. I just know this backstory. He ended up doing 7 years in Long Cash Prison, which is like the infamous, where
Yeah.
the guys were starving to death, Bobby Sands, etc.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the faster the guys
The fasted
the hunger
themselves to
strike.
death.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't think of that.
There you go. Yeah.
For weapons charges or something. Anyway, it's fascinating.
That is fascinating. I have read nothing but romance novels
Oh my
for weeks. Weeks.
Romance
I probably, yeah.
But you're married. You are a romance novel.
I am a romance novel. No, well, I think I just need to I went into City Lights yesterday,
yeah.
and I was like, hey, do you guys have anything light?
That's on Columbus, right?
Yep.
Oh, man. I miss it. I can visualize exactly where you were.
Yeah, and I also went for dim sum with Nato Green.
Oh,
and,
cool.
Janine Brito.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I go to City Lights and I said, "Do you guys have anything light?" And I knew better than to ask for a romance novel, or a mystery novel, or a spy novel.
Wait, they didn't roll their eyes when you went to City Lights and said, "Do you have anything light?"
She laughed in my face.
Okay,
and she said, "We're not really known for that."
No, but City Light. Did you make that connection?
Oh, I did not. I'm not writing puns in my brain box almost ever, sadly, because they're fun. Puns are fun, you guys. I know they are. They're good times. And so I'm in town until after Christmas. It's pretty great.
Oh wow.
I'm just gonna tomorrow. I'm going to Harry Potter World with Laura House.
Oh,
she got free tickets.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna go.
Are you having the butter
beer? Yeah. Wow, it's really good. I've been to the Harry Potter World in Orlando.
Wait a minute, is that okay for you to drink butter beer?
Yeah, it's
okay.
ginger ale.
Oh, wow.
It's fine.
But I am your AA sponsor. So.
Now, Lori Kilmartin, my AA sponsor, who's gonna go off and get drunk and then tell jokes. How do you think that'll go?
I didn't say it was a good sponsor. I shouldn't be your prime sponsor. I'm your in a pinch.
Do you have more than one sponsor, Nay? Who knows?
I don't know. I bet some people. I think some people need it. I think some people need a morning sponsor and a night sponsor.
A team of sponsors?
Yeah.
Sure.
More than Lance Armstrong. A team of sponsors.
What? Yeah. So how long's your? So how do they make you drunk? What happens?
We just do a couple shots.
You do a couple of shots, and then
I just need to sniff wine, and I'm slightly buzzed.
Bit of a lightweight.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm doing stuff around here, and then on the 23rd, I'm doing Christmas in Portland, Oregon, with my son and my sister and her kids.
Oh, so you're flying up to Portland for Christmas? Oh, fun.
And then and then I fly back, and then 2 hours after my flight lands. That's hoping it's on time, or like me 4 hours.
Yeah.
I go to New York, taking a red eye to New York, and then I'll be there from the 27th and I come back on the 2nd.
Oh wow, through the New Year.
Yeah.
Fun. And then, but not with the boy. The boy, the boy goes back to his dad.
The boy goes to his dad. I'll be alone and.
Right, just you and your roommate.
Just me. I might be alone. I think she might be gone.
Oh,
it might be It might be Thanksgiving redux. It might be me going on a long walk again, having a steak dinner by myself.
Treating yourself right.
Yes.
Do it. Yeah.
Not writing.
Yeah, so I'm like I think the 27th I go to Acme in Minneapolis to record.
Right.
And Andy's going to come for the weekend, for the New Year's weekend.
Yeah.
And to
that's
Minneapolis.
cool.
And then he's going to fly back here. And then I'm going to go look at my dad.
Look at him.
Well, he's old. You got to go look at old people. And I was like, how's it coming along, Pop? And
how old is your dad?
79.
Okay.
And so, and then I'm doing Madison, a comedy on state.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've never done that gig.
I've done it once. And previously, I was rarely, if ever, booked in Wisconsin. I was like, Jesus, my miracles never work in my hometown. That's a joke I do, and like three people who've read the Bible.
Jesus has never worked in his hometown?
Yeah, he went back to Nazareth, and he couldn't get any of his miracles to work.
Really?
Yeah, and then his mom showed up.
What gospel is that?
I don't know offhand. It's
Okay.
the Gospel According to Jesus. I forget. It's a Stephen
Don't
Mitchell
think
book
he
that I
wrote
read.
one.
Stephen Mitchell wrote an amazing nonfiction. It was he translated from the original Aramaic. Mm-hmm. Gospel According to Stephen Mitchell's he's a
Theologian?
a theologian and also a like he's linguistically he can translate Aramaic. He can do ancient Sanskrit. Like he did an amazing version of the Tao Te Ching that I
Wow.
have. And but what he did with the gospel is that he went historically and biblically, he took all of the Gospels that are available, not the ones that are being hidden in the Vatican vault, and culled from it what Jesus probably actually said and did.
Yeah.
Historically and and he made
Interesting.
emotional choices as well.
Does he think Jesus was God?
Does he think Jesus is God?
Yeah.
He thinks he has that sort of belief of that people in Los Angeles have, that people have powers, whisper powers. They have powers where you're like, you can the healing thing, and here's a rock and a prayer and a
Right.
and
Have
hang you
you
upside
ever
down.
met a person in your own life that has powers?
Oh,
Besides Karen Rontowski.
Karen Rontowski does have powers of Reiki, and She did get me to go to the dentist. That's a power. She read my tarot cards on the Dork Forest, and one of the things she said is, "Yeah, you should go to the dentist."
Oh my god,
that was in my tarot reading.
So did the dentist find something?
No, no. The
okay.
dentist was like, "When was the last time you were at the dentist?" Maybe. And I said 5 years ago, and they said, "Oh." And then they said, "Yeah, we're gonna clean your teeth."
What if you had bad breath that day and Karen was like, "I got to solve this. Let me just put that tooth
Maybe
card
that
in the
was it.
tarots."
Yeah, from across the card table in my house where I do the Dork Forest, she was like, "I can smell. You got to go to the dentist. There's some halitosis." No, I don't think that was it. But yeah, no,
I don't feel like I've met.
Have you ever had a real
Jesus, like-
ghost?
No.
How about on mushrooms? Have you ever had the big thoughts?
I haven't even done mushrooms. I haven't done an orgy. I haven't done anything, Jackie.
What the hell's happening over there? Really? You've had 30 years of stand-up. You've been hanging out with dirtbag comics for 30 years, and nobody
never
said,
do that
"Let's
stuff."
get nude and go swimming with a bunch of people."
I only swim in a proper
competitively.
Speedo. I never swim nude.
Don't be ridiculous.
You know how much drag my boobs are? No, they need to be fucking plastered to my chest. Trust
Tell me we're at an hour.
We are.
Yay! Bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.